So this is the simplest of all. What happens as our shoulders roll forward, the rotation makes our hands and our thumbs roll inwards. So one way to start just as you're sitting, is to try and correct it, is to roll your thumbs outwards, and you'll feel that it actually starts pressing those shoulders back in place. So our first simple exercise, soft knees, tailbone tuck, is just to turn those thumbs outwards. Feel that pulling and pressing down those shoulders. Slight release so that the thumbs point front, and then rotate out. Okay, I'm going to do this 10 times. 3, 4, 5. See each time how much further you can rotate those thumbs back. 6. Pull those shoulders down. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And just hold it. We're going to hold that now for a count of 10. So just pulling those shoulders down. Remember, keep firm in the belly, because we don't want to arch out. So keep those knees soft, tailbone tuck, and just roll out for a count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent. So our number 2 exercise, we're going to work the rotation of the shoulders, and you should hear lots of nice crunchy noises. So if we start with our arms at goalposts, we're going to shrug back, pull down, and press forward. So we're just rotating those shoulders. As they come back, this is opening this area of the chest. And it's also going to stretch and release the achy muscles behind too. So we'll do it for 10 rotations. Now, if you want to increase this, if you find that you want a deeper stretch, a bit more of a challenge, and change direction, what you can do, have your whole arm out, and that will create more weight and move the entire arm, okay? Or have some hand weights or water bottles. You can either do it like that or with your arms extended, just to give a little bit of extra strength building in the area, because trying to relieve muscle ache, often it's about strengthening the muscles rather than just stretching them. Okay, so we now changed rotation. Try not to drive it with your hands. Make your shoulders work, so you're really shrugging up and around, up and around. Okay. So often when we do shoulder rotations, they're very shallow. They're just, they don't really do anything. But if you really squeeze them as far back, as low, as front, and as high as you can, trying to keep those arms passive so it's all in the shoulder. I'm really starting to feel that now, so hopefully you are too. And relax. So our number 3 exercise, we're really going to stretch across the muscles here and through here. Again, these are the ones that get shortened and rounded, so we're really going to strengthen and press that open. So you need to stand near to a wall, and you want to turn and face it, and then bring your arm out in a straight line from your shoulder, and keep that there. Press your hand actively against the wall, and now start to shuffle round until you feel the maximum stretch. Okay, it might not be very far. You don't want to overstress it. You just want to feel a satisfying stretch. And when something is challenging, it's really important to breathe through it. So try and breathe slow breaths to help release the muscles. So we're going to hold it, say, for 5 breaths. And then you gently shuffle yourself back round to face the wall. And we're now going to change position. So we're going to do it at a 45-degree angle now. Actively press the hand against the wall. And once more shuffle. You might find it's a bit stronger this time and that you can't walk round as far. You just stop at the sweet spot. The sweet spot is a bit where it's feeling a satisfying stretch without being overstraining, okay, because that can be counterproductive. Oh, that feels good. So again, do another 5 slow breaths in that position. Okay, and shuffle round, release, shake it out, and we'll do the other side. So, press it actively against the wall, in line with the shoulder, nice straight line. When you're ready, start walking away from it, and you just turn as far as you can until, as I say, get to that sweet spot. We'll take 5 deep breaths. Hold it. Press actively in that hand. Keep the core pulled in so you don't overarch in that lower back. Soften those knees. Lots of instruction. And slowly walk yourself to face the wall. Find that 45 degree. And you might find that even pressing against that is enough, but just have a little shuffle round. Find your sweet spot. Keep those knees soft. Belly gently pulled in. Take 5 slow deep breaths. You can, of course, hold it for longer. A good 30 seconds or a minute would be wonderful. But I sometimes find counting breaths helps, and it also makes you more aware of your breath. And then shuffle round and give them a little swing. Let all the blood and sensation get back into those fingers. So our 4th lovely stretch and exercise is going to also be against the wall. However, it's going to be a press up. So if you are already strong and are familiar and accustomed to doing plank and push-ups from plank, then you do it from there. For everybody else, we're going to do against the wall. So the closer you stand to the wall, the less strenuous it is. So you find what is right for you. The key thing is you want to make sure you're pushing into your fingertips rather than the wrist. If you have weak wrists, then do a forearm plank. Okay, so that's flat against the wall like that. Or you can do high plank. So it's as far back, as I said, the further back you go, the more body weight you're pushing into it. So find what works for you. You simply want to make sure everything is in alignment. So feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, and your shoulders tend to be wider than your hips, so they'll be wider than your feet. And soft, slightly bend in the elbow, and then slowly come forward and push back. Don't lock the arms, so when you come forward, you're just going to be moving gently like that. You must keep the core in, so it's not like that. The whole body weight, you move as a single unit, and you just lean forward. Can you see my invisible wall? Okay, and then just push, and that will help expand and strengthen this area, which is a nice counter stretch to our normal rounded shoulder. Okay, so probably 10 of those is good, and if you want the challenge, you can do forearm ones too. Okay, so for our number 5 lovely antagonist stretch for across here, it will be handy if you have some kind of belt or strap or scarf, anything that you can pull against. So we're going to bring our hands behind, so we're opening and pressing this chest. And if you're holding something, okay, what we're going to do, hold it away from the body, but don't lock those arms, okay? And when it's shoulder width apart, we're going to actively pull really strongly and relax. Pull strongly and relax. Pull strongly, squeeze, really pull opposite direction, release. So do about 10 of these. Always do the pulling on the out breath. So it's breathe in, exhale, pull apart, pull apart, pull apart. Inhale, exhale, pull apart. And exhale, pull apart. So we do about 10 of those. And then when you've done 10, if your muscles are not too sore, not too stiff, you can raise them up a little more. So we're starting to activate some other muscles here. And you can, with it higher, you can start actively pulling again. So just find, as ever, your sweet spot. Find the bit where you think, oh yeah, that's my max. And then actively pull apart. Don't forget your posture. So you don't want to be arching. Keep those knees soft. That will help relax that lower back. Keep the belly pulled in. That will also help. Keep the shoulders out of the ears. I'm sure there's something else I can remind you about. And just keep those shoulders low. So you're trying to pull low and then back. So you can really feel that pull across the chest and then squeeze the skull. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Gosh, it's hard work, isn't it? And say if we just do another 10 in a slightly higher position. So using muscles that we don't necessarily get to use. So you might need a little bit of practice. And release and give it a nice shake out. Well done.